Hi guys, and welcome back to Reed's Readers with your host, Clinton Reed. And today I want to bring with you guys my book haul for November. I will actually state I was actually really good this month, but I still have 12 books to share with you. The first three I'm going to share with you I bought previously, but I received in November. One is my very last book of the month purchase, and the other two were from Book Depository. And then I hit up a thrift shop, half price books, and I hit a Black Friday sale. So, yeah, this is probably going to be the last book haul of the year. What with me not having a job now and stuff like that, which, fingers crossed, is hopefully changing soon. But I thought I'd go ahead and talk about some of these books that I haven't gotten to talk about yet. So, let's get into it. The first one I want to share with you is my November pick for Book of the Month. And when I get a job, I will redo my Book of the Month. And you'll learn next year I have an idea, because I got tons of books of the month back there that still need to be read. Go me for procrastination and ignore my phone. Twitter's going cray cray. Oh fuck. I'm gonna have to do this fast. My battery's gonna die. I didn't even realize that. Need to charge my battery. But I got For Better and Worse by Margaret Hunt. It was a thriller. That's all I really knew. And something about two people that are married and stuff goes down. I was like, why not? If it's a thriller on book of the month, it's 9 out of 10 the one that I'm going to choose regardless of whatever it's about. These next two I got from... Oh god, that looks like one book. These next two books I got from Book Depository because I like their covers and I've been wanting to read them. One is a book that I attempted to read back in high school and didn't have much luck with it, but I'm going to try it again as an adult because I graduated 10 years ago, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this one is. It's one of the most hyped books there is, but that is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. This is the special edition with chapters from his brand new novel. Did like the new printing of it, and I just loved that cover. For those of you who don't know what this is about, 1939 Nazi Germany, a 9-year-old girl living with a foster family. She steals books. This is her story of the inhabitants and the street where bombs began to fall, and it's narrated by Death. I'm like, what? I'm still like, what? And I still want to know. It's one that I'm going to attempt one more time. You'll see this next year. It's one of those that I'm like, it's a book I really want to give a second chance to. Next is a book that I've been seeing going around, and because the fact that America and Great Britain have two different titles, it pisses me off, and I wanted the original title. I got The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Thornton, and this cover, I don't know if you can see it with that glare, is gorgeous. I don't like the American cover. It's all black and just blah. But this is a pretty much Groundhog's Day meets Clue. About a woman who got murdered and a cop who's trying to save the day, and the cop wakes up in a different person's body every day after she dies. Like, she dies and the day starts over, and he's in a different person's body as he relives everything else throughout the day. So I'm like, wait, what? I was down. And I also saw someone that had this with like Pretty Little Red sprayed edges, and I thought I was going to get that, but I didn't realize that was an Indigo purchase. My bad. But it sounded interesting, and I'm all for it. Okay, you grab this stack so I can. Okay, then this next two are mass markets that I found at a local thrift store. They were 50 cents a piece. They both sounded really interesting. The first one is How Still We See Thee Lie. They are Christmas tidings from today's favorite mystery authors. It's got 4 mystery authors I have never heard of. Tom Mitchelltree, Elizabeth Gunn, Alana Martin, and Connie Shelton. There are 4 short stories that involve Christmas or the holiday season and a mystery. I'm like, yes, please. Okay, the Gay Boy is about to come out with this one, but I saw this and I just had to have it because this is like one of my all-time favorite bands. I got the Spice Girls, the uncensored story behind the pop's biggest phenomenon. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a really big Spice Girls fan. If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends. Okay, I'm gonna stop, and I'm pretty sure I just ruined y'all's ears. My bad. But yeah, this is an autobiography of Spice Girls during the height of their fame, and I just was so intrigued. I didn't even know this book existed. It came out when I was 7. In 1997. Like, what? These next 4 are from 2 different trips at Half Price Books. One was walking around and saw them in one of them, and the other was I was bored, and I think my interview went well, and I was like, I wanted to treat myself. First, I got Wondersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crow, which is book 2 in the Trials of Morgan Crow series. Is that what it's called? Or is it just the Morgan Crow series? Which is pretty much New Age Harry Potter. To me, the first book gave me Coraline meets Harry Potter. I may not be a big Coraline fan, but I loved the elements of the Coraline-esque that the first one gave me. And I've been really anticipating the second one. Read the first one earlier this year. And I may attempt to read this in December if I don't go insane by my December TBR, which y'all will see shortly. But yeah. And next I got a book that is to go with a series that I'm going to try to do next year, which y'all will see more in January when I announce. So it'll be January, February, or March. Somewhere around there I'm going to announce it. But I got the first book to the Fallen Kingdoms series, which is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, which treacherous betrayal, secret alliances, unforeseen murders, and forbidden love, the world of Mythica will hold you captive. Witches, if found, are put to death, and watchers, immortal beings who take the shape of hawks to visit the human world, have been almost entirely forgotten. Okay, the Orianos. Privileged Princess Chloe is forced to confront violence for the first time in her life when a shocking murder sets her kingdom on a path to collapse. Limeros. The king's son Magnus must plan each footstep with shrewd, sharp guile if he is to earn his powerful father's trust, while his sister Lucia discovers a terrifying secret about her heritage that will change everything. In Palacia, Rebulus Jonas lashes out against the forces of oppression that have kept his country cruelly impoverished. God, I can't speak today. And finds himself the leader of People's Revolution, centuries in the making. Just sounds really interesting, and I've heard a lot of good things about this. Chelsea at Chelsea Darling Reads, who absolutely despises fantasy, this is one of her all-time favorite series. So I'm intrigued. And like I said, I have a video idea for next year that this required. And it's a book that I've been really looking forward to, and I hope I like it. Okay, this next one was a random find at Half Price Books. Actually, these next two are like two of the weirdest, greatest finds I've found. Both are for video ideas for next year. I have been putting this series off and 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 off because this is such an overhyped series that I feel like I'm not going to enjoy it. But people keep talking about it, and it just keeps intriguing me more and more and more. And I've been wanting to get into adult fantasy, and I feel like this person is like everyone's favorite author right now. I have two others of her books that I haven't read, so I may read all three of them next year and decide which series I want to continue with. Which I think the one I want to continue with is the one that she's not continuing with. But that is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Everyone knows what this is about. 4 different colored Londons, and a guy who can travel through white, gray, red, or black London, and each have like different magic problems, or no magic, or like, I don't know. That's all I need to know. And I've been kind of curious about it, and I've been putting it off, but too many of my favorite booktubers rave about this, and I'm like, fuck it, let's get it, let's read it next year as a goal for next year. Okay, this next one was like the weirdest yet greatest find. I found an OwlCrate exclusive edition, which is signed and still has the letter of the author in the book, which I thought was like, what? I've only ever purchased one OwlCrate. So, the one that came with $2. And I kept one of them, which is Shadow of the Fox, wherever that book is, it's over there. But I got the OwlCrate edition of Mirage by Samaya Dodd, which is this gorgeous black edition, and it's signed, and it's got the letter from the author on the inside of it, which I thought was like, what? Got it for $8.99. Like, what? I know they have 2 other OwlCrate books off to the side, which once I get a job, I'm gonna go get, because, like, why would I leave them there? But they're $20 a piece, and I can't afford that right now. One's the Gentleman Guides to Vice and Virtue, and I need that copy to go next to mine. The Pretty Little Blue needs to go next to mine. But yeah, this is that pretty, where the book underneath is black, and it actually has this really pretty, like, feather design. All I know about this, and it's got these pretty end pages. Oh, like I said, it's signed. All I know about this is it's kind of like a Prince and the Pauper, like, retelling, where it's about this girl who ends up looking identical to the princess, but apparently everyone hates said princess, so they place her as the stand-in because someone's threatened her life. And I can't tell if it's fantasy or if it's sci-fi or if it's both. But it was one that I was thinking about picking up anyways for a video idea that I'm planning for next year. Can you see a trend here? But yeah, I'm just so effing excited because I actually thought the black cover and the black book underneath was the prettiest version. Well, next to the Fairy Loot. If I would have found the Fairy Loot too, I would have bought 2 copies of this. But I digress. Now these next 3 were my Black Friday purchases. Because I did an online purchase and they were $10 a piece. And to get 3 Brains Making New hardbacks for $30, listen, down. This first one I picked up, which is extremely hyped this year, and it's one that I've been very, very curious about. But I got Sadie by Courtney Summers. If she does, she takes the truth with her. This book is about a girl whose sister goes missing or is killed, and she goes hunting for her sister or the killer. I can't quite remember, and I know there's this podcast that's in it, and everyone says to do the audiobook, which I'm going to have to get soon. And I like to have a physical copy when I do my audiobooks, because I like to, when I can't physically read, I'll be listening to the audiobook, and then when I get to a spot where I can physically read, I'm still listening to the audiobook, and I find that spot, and I read along with it. So, I really cannot wait for this. This is one that was an anticipation this year, but it fell on a paycheck that I couldn't afford it. But I can't wait. Next is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, which is a book I've been actually looking at since it came out. But it's one of those, I'm do I need it now? Oh, if I get it now, am I actually going to read it? It's one of those. This one came out towards the end of last year, I do believe. But it's one that I've been really curious about. It's very much, and I got the Barnes & Noble's exclusive version, which means there's a bonus chapter. Cool. This is very much Breakfast Club. The brain, the beauty, the criminal, the athlete, and the outcast. But they all go to detention, but one of them doesn't make it out alive. So it's like a murder mystery with Breakfast Club, and I fucking love the Breakfast Club, so yes, please. That's all I really want to say about that. And this last one, I was so happy to see for $10 because I really wanted to pre-order it, but I got fired. The paycheck I was going to use to get this, I got fired, and to find it for $10, I oh my god, had a heart attack. But, which is one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and that is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. I hope I pronounced your last name right. But it's just so pretty. And I got the Barnes & Noble's exclusive red edition, which is just stunning. This is a fantasy world setting with a Chinese, an Asian, aspect to it. About there's girls chosen every year to serve the king in the highest honor they can hope for, and the most demeaning this year. There's a ninth, and instead of a paper, she's made of fire. The thing I like is the tagline on the back. In my land, we are known as the paper girls, easily torn, existing only for others to use and discard. But there's something there they've all forgotten about paper. It can light the world on fire and make it burn. And I've heard there's some LGBT elements in it. And I'm all about some diverse fantasy with some LGBT, like, elements to it. Like... Come on now. And James Patterson has not steered me wrong. Well, he did on one of his presents, but we're not going to discuss that. And I am absolutely obsessed with the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which is a James Patterson Presents book. So, you betcha, I'm down for this. And it goes with a video idea that I'm planning for next year, so look out for it. Thinking this video idea is probably going to be either March or May. March, April, or May, somewhere around there. Probably April, to be perfectly honest. But I digress. We'll figure that out next year. But those are the lovely 11 or 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books that I got this year. This month. This last month, November. Tell me down below what books you got. Which books that I got that you want me to get to faster. Have you read any of these books? Let me know your thoughts. Are there any on this list that I should bump up on my TBR and maybe put one of their videos up a little bit sooner next year? But yeah, I hope you guys are having a happy holiday season. I know December's coming up, so there is a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Yule, Kwanzaa, and all the other holiday seasons, and I hope you guys enjoy Thanksgiving. But I digress. So I will talk with you guys later. And remember, kids, reading is what's fundamental. Until next time, bye.